So what is going on, everyone? This is Fabi here, and today we are going to take a look at the iPhone 6 Plus 1 year later. I want to touch on both the good and the bad sides of this phone because there's obviously both good and bad sides of the phone, but I think the overwhelming majority will be positive sides because this phone has treated me really well. So the first one in the good category will be the battery life. Now, to me, the battery life is, I think, the most important part of the phone. If the phone cannot last me throughout the whole day, it can take the best pictures, it can be the fastest. As long as I can use it because the batteries run out, it's really nothing to me. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any screenshots of my battery usage over the last few months or so. But here you can see what I use most, so it's messaging and stuff like that. And usually I get around 8 to 10 hours of battery of usage on a single charge, which I think is more than adequate, and it really lasts me through the whole day. As you can see, it's 7:32 p.m. right now, and I still have 48% of battery, which is, I think, great. So by the time I go to bed, it's going to be at around 30%, which is more than enough. Going on, I want to talk about the screen because this screen to me looks great. Now I know there's better offerings on the market, for example some Samsung OLED screens, but because I haven't used those extensively, to me this screen looks beautiful, and being higher than 400 pixels per inch, to me it's almost perfect. Like, I can't discern actual pixels. And for example, let's zoom in on one of these folders over here. Let me try and zoom in so you can see what I'm talking about. There you go. You can see, you can't really see the pixels, and if you can see them, it's really not bothering. And I really like the fact that the screen is this way, and the contrast ratio, the way it is, the fact that it's really bright but it can also get really dim. I really like the screen. Also about the screen, it really lends itself to movies because it's 1080p and it's got a 16:9 aspect ratio, and it's also good for games because the screen is bigger, and of course the screen size is also a huge plus for those who perhaps don't see as well or just like their phones bigger. But I'll talk about this a bit on the when we get to the bad side as well, because there's some negatives to it as well. Also, something that is very positive is the fact that mine didn't bend. If you look at it sideways, you can see it's still straight as a knife or whatever is straight to you guys. You can see there in the reflection, you can't see any sort of bend gate going on. And I do wear it in my jeans, I do wear it normally in my skinny jeans as well, and I haven't encountered any issues so far. I don't doubt that there's iPhones out there that blend, perhaps this one blends as well, but I don't put enough force, and I will never do that because it's just stupid. And to me, you know, it's great. Another thing that I like about it is that the fact that the material on the back is really much tougher than that on the iPhone 5 or 5S. If you look around my phone, you really can't see any sort of scratches. I know there's one or two, I can't really remember where they are right now, but I usually don't keep my phone in a case. Actually, this is the case I use right now. This is the Apple leather black or dark black case, but 80% of the time I used this phone, I didn't use a case. I only dropped it once. I'm usually really careful with my phones, but my iPhone 5, no matter how hard I tried to take care of that thing, it scratched ultimately. So this is a plus side of the iPhone 6 Plus. I feel like it's much more durable in that sort of segment. Going on to the camera, it takes really great pictures. I might just put some to show you guys here on the display. But along with the fact that it takes great photos, it also has a slow-mo option. It has time-lapse. It then has an option for Instagram, so you can take square photos. It has this beautiful panoramic mode, and also the photo editor inside the app is pretty good in my opinion. So overall, of course, there might be better options when it comes to fiddling with settings, but this one is basic. It always chooses the correct settings to take the best photo, and that's what I like about it the most. Going on to the negative side, of course there's always negative things to each and everything, and the one that I think is most apparent on this iPhone is the fact that it is not as snappy as I would sometimes like it to be. It's still a fast phone, it still loads apps pretty fast, but sometimes it stutters, and I think that is because of the weird upscaling they had to do with the iPhone 6 Plus. And you can see it, for example, when you go to Spotlight. It didn't actually happen now, but let's say go to Spotlight like this. You can see some stutter there, and I use a third-party keyboard, but this is a pretty powerful phone, and up until now it was the most powerful phone from Apple, and I don't think that is okay. And you can see here when I scroll up from the control center, it's still not buttery smooth. And going down for the notification center, still not buttery smooth either. And now, this is iOS 9, but this happened in iOS 8 too, so I think Apple should just put better software or better hardware into their iPhone 6 Plus in order for it to perform as well as the iPhone 6. The next thing I don't really like is the Touch ID. Now, Touch ID is a great idea and it works pretty well sometimes, but to me it kind of fails. Now, I got my hands pretty clean right now, but for example, if I wash my hands immediately after when I am not completely dry, it doesn't work. When I do something and I get a little bit sweaty, it doesn't work. When I eat and I'm perhaps not the cleanest, it doesn't work. So more than 50% of the time I use my phone, it doesn't work. Perhaps 50% would be a little bit too much because it does work most of the time. But it's those times when you actually want to get to your phone as quickly as possible and Touch ID doesn't work that really bothers me, and it seems to happen quite a lot of time. Going on, we talked about the screen size. There's a big problem right here. The screen is huge and Apple still doesn't use the screen real estate at all. If we take a look at the lock screen, you can see that there's literally nothing over here. They could just easily put some information around here. For example, I would like to see the weather here. I would like to see my emails here down here. I would like to see all sorts of stuff over here. It's really not put to good use, and something else that really bothers me is that a lot of apps are still not updated. I can't understand how it would take a developer a year to develop an app for this phone. For example, Waze. This great app for navigating still isn't updated to the iPhone 6 Plus or for the iPhone 6 Plus, and you can obviously see that. Now, I do have some other apps around here, but I'm not going to search for them. But another problem, along with the fact that they're not updated, those that are updated only show more information. So let's take a look at Alien Blue, the Reddit client. As you can see, it only shows more information because it's got bigger screen, but there's no sort of side panel here that I can get access to or nothing that really takes advantage of this screen real estate to perhaps let me slide the screen into two halves so that I can see more things at once. And along with that, Apple doesn't allow any of the split screen features from the iPad on the iPhone 6 Plus, and I think this is an issue and this is a mistake. They should put some iPad features into the iPhone 6 Plus and 6s Plus to make them more appealing for those who don't know whether to buy the smaller iPhone or the bigger iPhone, and this would be a great thing to get them over to the bigger one. And going on to the last point, something that I don't like when I use it without a case is the fact that it's really slippery. A lot of iPhones used to have this problem, but because it's only aluminum on the sides and on the back, you don't really have any sort of grip areas. And if you're not paying attention, you're going to, or your phone is going to fall off out of your hands. And this happened to me once when I was really nervous because I was getting my new car and it accidentally slipped. I usually take really great care of my phone, but that time I just noped out, and fortunately enough nothing happened, so I'm happy about that. But anyways guys, I think I touched on everything I wanted to talk about this iPhone 6 Plus. Overall, it's been great to me and I still will use it in the future because it's got still great battery life, and I don't see anything in the iPhone 6s Plus that would tempt me to get the iPhone 6s Plus. But my dad wants to get the iPhone 6s, so I might just try it out and see if I like it, and then I might just buy it for myself if I think it is worth it. But anyways guys, if you liked this video, make sure to like it, share with your friends on Facebook and on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. All the links are going to be down in the description, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Peace out guys, peace, stay tuned for more videos.